Okay, my beautiful friends, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Wednesday, August 12th, 2020. This is my post-market wrap-up. A lot of stuff to cover here today. More creatures crawling out of the woodwork here. And we need to put that into perspective as well, because it's really just too much. It really is. I'm kind of chuckling here, but it's not funny, honestly. All right, let's talk about this market real quick. Rally across the board. Stocks did well today. You know why this is happening here. There's no doubt about it. And again, the mechanism is just, well, I want to say it's just too twisted to believe, but that's the environment we are in at the current time. And it's not just the Federal Reserve pumping this market. It's the European Central Bank, the same thing. They're in lockstep. And, you know, all these central banks are doing the same things at the same time. Do you think that's by accident? Really? No, it is not by accident. This is a global takeover, like I've explained to you since forever. And as long as these central banks continue to inflate their balance sheets, plural, stocks will continue higher. No guy on the planet has nailed it better than me. I've covered this to the point of nauseum, kept you all ahead of the curve. Before I move forward, let's cover a couple of other things here. So stocks did well today. Cryptocurrencies did well today. They got bid higher across the board. 10-year yield, 0.67. That's pretty incredible, seriously. Dollar got hit today. Metals, gold and silver, under a little pressure today. Okay, good. They're going to play their game. We're going to play our game. You know how that works. Period. The end. Crude oil caught a nice bid today. So, of course, energy did well. Anyway, look. So let's talk about the creatures crawling out of the woodwork today. I think you know who these creatures are, but they continue to be paraded out. I mean, it's just astonishing to me. Yes, we heard again from the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve presidents, they keep saying the same thing, the same narrative. Oh, the economy is doing terribly. You know, it's going to need more stimulus, more debt, more cash printed out of thin air. The Federal Reserve is actually making it easier now so it can lend to states here in the United States at an even lower rate than they would charge before. So look, it is clear, it should be clear to you that their grand plan is materializing in your face, in all of our face. That is to be the lender of last resort. The lender of every resort. I mean, that's what they want. This is a takeover not just of the United States, but of the entire world by central banks, by the Federal Reserve more specifically, because the US dollar remains the world reserve currency. So you can expect more of that. That's the way it's going to go here, people. So we also heard from Warren Buffett today, who is calling for a major market drop. Now, we've heard the same thing from several Wall Street banks as of late. JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman hasn't yet materialized. Doesn't mean it's not going to, okay? I am still treading very cautiously in this market. As a matter of fact, I have one open trade, one. I entered a trade today. Turned out to be a day trade. Johnson & Johnson. Few hours, made an 11.5% profit. It's pretty stupid, isn't it? But that's the game. That's the game that we play here as traders. Now, as those of us that are not traders, being that we understand the game to the highest level that I think anyone possibly can, what do you believe central banks are going to do here? They're going to issue more loans to states, bankrupt municipalities. Their plan is to inflate. It's not just the Fed, it's the ECB, it's all the major world central banks working together in a web. They have the globe surrounded in a web. And a stranglehold is probably more like it. And they're going to inflate. So I don't give a damn what they did to gold and silver yesterday. Doesn't matter to me. It will not change my outlook on it. In fact, I'm more bullish than ever because we understand the grand plan to be the lender, buyer of last resort, inflate on an epic scale, kill the dollar in its current form. So it should be a no-brainer to you, betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank, and then using this market as a mechanism to enrich yourself. Look, play the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I hate the game. Okay, I'm a player in here, but I hate the game. There's no doubt about it. But look, let me put another perspective on this for you people. Most people, they don't know how markets work. They don't understand money. They just go out, they work for someone, and they get paid by that individual. But the way to create wealth on a grand scale is to get as close to the money as you possibly can. Those closest to the money always make the most of it. As it trickles down, it gets less and less and less and less. So how do you get close to the money? All right, I'm not trying to sway you or convince you to become a trader, although no guy on the planet Earth makes it easier than I do. I post everything, what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, what I am buying, how I'm playing it, how I'm finessing it. All in my free newsletter, right down here in the description of this video blog. But if you can get close to the money, and where is the money? Where is the money? Where does it really, is it in a bank? Is it at your employer's desk? No, it's at the New York Stock Exchange. That's where the money is. And the closer you can get to it, the easier it is to make. You understand? That's why people frown upon like traders, and obviously they frown upon the investment banks because they're deeply in the heart of it. But the truth of the matter is, it's not that hard, especially when you have a guy like me explaining what he's doing, when he's doing it. I mean, look, I don't even know how many dozen trades I have placed, dozens and dozens and dozens of trades. I have placed exactly what I bought, when I bought it, how I played them, how I finessed them in real time. I post these things the moment I enter a position, the moment I change a position, whatever I'm doing to it. It's all right in my newsletter. Boom, boom, boom. I blast it out. There's like almost 34,000 now following my newsletter. But again, if we know that Wall Street is the tap, Wall Street is where the money is. Okay, that's where it is. It's more specifically at the New York Stock Exchange. If you can get closer to it, it's easier to make money. You understand? Those that are further away from the money, they get nothing. So, it doesn't take a lot of work, especially when you have a guy like me trying to explain to you how the system works. And nobody on earth really has a better handle on this market than you do. If you follow this blog, you know exactly what's going on. You know how it's being played. And the bigger picture is, you know why it's happening. You know what the final solution is here. And that makes our life simple. It really, really does. So with that said, I want you to think about what I'm talking about here. And maybe bring yourself a little closer to the money. Remember, the closer you get to the money, the more money you make. Why does your boss make more money than you? Very simple. He or she is closer to the money. And why does your boss's boss make more money than your boss? Very simple. He or she is closer to the money. You understand? Very simple. Very, very simple. And what do you do with these profits? What do you do with your profits? Do you keep stashing dollars away, a dying asset, or do you diversify them and you pull those profits and you put them into things like gold, like more specifically silver, like assets? That's how you beat it. It's not that hard. It really isn't. All right, so look, so understanding the mechanism is very simple. We have Fed president after Fed president after Fed president crawling out of the woodwork, talking about more debt, more stimulus, and we have Congress, the Democrat freak show and the Republican freak show, who still cannot come together on some kind of a way to help the American people. So again, that should tell you something. We're in a crisis. It's really bad. In fact, it's worse since, I don't know, the Spanish flu. Bullshit, okay? If we really were, you would see these creatures, members of Congress, act. So no, they're not acting because they realize it's a charade. They realize what's going on. They are trying to cull you. Again, if you're one of these people right now that are way far away from the money, that have been disconnected from the money by losing your job or whatever it might be, well, the job of Congress right now is to destroy you. Absolutely destroy you on an unprecedented scale. Like to kill you. That's their job. They want you gone. You understand? You make too much noise. So they don't want you around. They want you out of here. Their job is not to work for you. Their job is to work for the New World Order, the military-industrial complex, the banks. Why? Because the banks are on top of the money. And that cash somehow just miraculously makes it into the pockets of our corrupt politicians. Yeah, that's how it works, people. That's how the whole thing works. Hope you're happy about it. Anyway, all right, look, that's it. Long video, I think. Please share it, get it out there. And guess what? I'll see you in the morning.